Alright, and we're live. Shout out to Hoobastank, one of the top bands of the early 2000s. Why? Just because. Right now, this is a very special video. We've finally broken that 120 frames a second to HD barrier. And this is my first time tapping in a 4K and ND filter and a stabilizer. So you'll see the work for itself. We made some beautiful shots, beautiful sunset. The lighting during the game was not all that good. But what you get with 4K and an ND filter, it's unreal. So you'll check it out right now. Let's roll.
I was so hard-headed at first. My grandma didn't even believe in me. I kept going though. All I can say is I told you. Jury at the bank now in the vault. You should have never doubted me. I'ma work to my last breath. I'ma hustle to my last breath. Yeah. Yeah, you should have never doubted me. The pain and the struggle followed me. But daddy never been that bothered me. And his cold streets made a man of me. No time it'll come, they doubt me.
The training comes in. It comes in every single day. We can't get caught up in what they're doing. We got to get caught up in what we're doing. What are we doing on our assignments? Are we coming through doing our assignments on defense? Do we know that we have dive? Do we have the quarterback? Are we spilling? Are we wrong shoulder spilling? Are we enough to take it on and come in through? Are we keeping JD? This is going to be a fight because they're fast and athletic. Beat them. They are in our way. That is it. They are in our way to go in to finish chapter 2. We're going to get out of here. We're going to be 6-1. We're going to win the game. We're going to get on the bus. We're going to celebrate the quest to get to the playoffs for the first time in 11 years at our school. And that's what we're doing. And nothing is going to stop us. Nothing is going to derail us. Don't get caught up on anything they do. Get caught up on what we do. All right? We talked about it before at Walter. We're a unit. I want to be my man. I want to be with Xavier. I want to be with Danny. I want to be with Mark. That's how we are. You understand that? Confident, believing each other, push each other, no way to stop us. Hey, can't be stopped. We cannot be stopped. We cannot be stopped. Go, baby. Cannot be stopped. What's my 3? Ready? 1, 2, 3. What?
Girl in the transport. Stepping is a heavy like a zone. I'm louder than the fan on me. Catch me whipping up Hussein, whipping bands on me. I'ma kill the competition and I'm playing for keeps. You see water dripping off me, then catch it. I turn nothing into something now.
Bigger things ahead. Guys are saying they're punching, they're grabbing, they're kicking. We scheduled this schedule and put this schedule there because the cities can handle it. We have one guy, he knows his name, who is not handling it. The rest of us have to handle it. They're not going to call face mask. You're getting every penalty. So are you going to answer the bell by staying low or fighting and just keep getting better and keep getting better? This is just preparing you for bigger things ahead. This is magical. You guys still think, oh man, this guy's doing this. The big picture is what are we trying to accomplish? So we're yelling at you, screaming at you, go, 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 hard, hard, hard. Just be under control. You can go hard and fast, be under control. We ain't stopping. We're going to keep scoring. We're scoring every time. They cannot stop us. Keep your hand in the cookie jar. We're going to go, we're going to go, we're going to go. Defensively, when you play fast, we get it done. Play fast. First down, second down, third down. I know we preach down and distance, but down and distance isn't in a team like this. So come, have fun, enjoy the guy punching you. Enjoy it. Every time, enjoy it. Let him hit you. Just come in, laugh, go back in, and let's keep putting up numbers. Let's keep up putting them numbers. When we get to the game on the line, we give the ball to JD and Rashawn, and we'll run the fourth quarter out. But until then, let's have fun and grind and get better. We good to go?
No, they're going to run the ball. So what happens when they pass the ball, can't go to pick? It's not going to happen.
Your time till they get
Hey, they can't shake that. Get that right.
I got love on the run, yeah. I'll be a fighter to the end, to my last breath. I'ma hustle to my last breath. I got tears in my eyes. My dreams all I got and I'll die for it. If I love it with a passion, I'ma ride for it.
And there you have it. That was the school scoring record. We broke it twice that season, 69 in game 1, and then this game right here was beautiful. First shot, opening shot, probably one of the best shots at Western high school football history. Oh my God, man. I don't know why. It's probably my favorite shot personally. It could be some better shots. There's some good shots around. I had a gimbal for the first time. Almeida, he said, bro, use a gimbal. And I've been reluctant. I didn't think I needed it. But as soon as I got the gimbal, never used it before. I was just messing around. Like, this thing's super dope. It was the Crane 2 or whatever. Not the V2, the Crane 2, the smaller one, that a little lighter. And I had, he let me borrow his 35 millimeter Sigma with an ND filter on it. And the ND, what an ND does is, like I said, layers. It right here you let in all the light per se, and then when you turn it, you start cutting out some of the light. And what you do is you're able to keep that low aperture. And everyone knows when you keep a low aperture, the actual circle, the blades open up within the camera to let more light in. And that's not good, because then you have to fluctuate. You want to keep, if you're gonna shoot 24 frames a second at 4K, you gotta have 1/50 f-stop. No, 1/50 shutter speed, f-stop 1.4, how you want it. ISO, I did a mistake a lot. I think I did it on auto too much. That's the one mistake I've done a lot when you're doing the game. But then again, the lighting in football stadiums are usually on a cycle. And it's kind of, if you'll notice if you keep it on one setting, how certain shots it fluctuates in light from the electric frequency. So auto is usually the way to go unless you're in some unbelievable conditions. But those older bulbs, those older stadium lights are on a cycle with electricity for whatever reason. That's what I picked up, and it gets in the way a little bit, but that's why it's usually auto. But these shots pre-game during the daylight should be you should set your ISO to something. White balance, I'm running gun, I'm not bugging, I'm not shooting a movie. If I were to shoot a scene, I'd be in there with see, it's all 4K. The color, dude, oh my god, that's crispy too. Forgot about Ellis. And then I just kept doing that little thing. I don't know, I think it was from Bad Boys, or the shot at the end when it just panned under and around and over. And then I was hit and miss on some of these shots. And I think the quality is a little lower because I exported at 1080. But when they're 4K and these were raw, I don't think I added too much color. It was pretty good. And then as you see during the game, no lighting. It's not as bad as I remembered, but for sure not as quality as were there. And I believe I was also on the 135. This is a good shot. Yeah, no, this was 7200. So it cut out a little more light even with the adapter. So what I did, I had a Canon lens 7200. I put it on a mount that opened up the aperture. So instead of going 2.8, you were going 2.4, which is not really common. But that little adapter from L lens to E mount gave you like a 0.4 bigger opening. This one was on the kit lens. I remember because I went wide on it. This was on a... This is a good shot. When this is white balanced correctly, and I did that in the documentary, it's a clean shot. And like you can tell the frequency, like ISO's on auto. And at this point, it's not a big deal. It's not like they're paying millions of dollars to get it done right. And in a moment of a game, you got so much time before you're out shooting. So shooting for sports, the good thing, I did a story behind it. Story was one in sports. The actual getting of plays, and these plays are pretty good. Pretty smooth, 120 frames a second, decent lighting. I zoomed out them in 7200 definitely. And this is 4K on a gimbal. Shooting for sports is really fun. You just gotta play around with it. Everyone's got a different style. When you look at the university, those guys will just whip my butt compared to this video. Mine has a different texture with it, to it. But when I see a lot of those big universities like South Carolina, Clemson, and a lot of these big universities with a video team, Bama, Oklahoma, Ohio, they got some really good video stuff, but I can guarantee you the equipment they got is way better than mine. Better lighting. Overall, better experience cinematographers. They're probably a little better than me. But I will notice that there's some growth down the stretch. So you'll notice when you step up to 4K, don't be afraid to shoot 4K. And on a gimbal, it just gives you an advantage. Like, you get certain clarity. Pretty smooth. Other than that, if you watch the other videos, you'll notice the jump in clarity and detail from going from 1080, 120 frames a second to just 4K. And then the ND filter adds that depth of field that you guys want to look into. So what I did with the ND filter is don't get the one for the camera, get like one of the biggest ones, and then purchase step up rings. And these rings are like they step up essentially, so they let you change the width on it. So it's like big over here, and the rings is a little smaller opening, so you can put that big ND filter on different lenses instead of buying an ND filter for every single lens you got. You have one ND and use these different rings. These rings are cheap. An ND filter, variable ND, is like $100. 120 if you get the bigger one. And then these step up rings are like $8-9. All you do is step up to different cameras as opposed to buying a bunch of NDs, and that'll save you a lot of money down the stretch. But if you want to buy one for each, go ahead. And then with the variable, you can adjust. You might need to cut out more light or less light. You might just need a little pinch cut out as opposed to almost all of it cut out middle of the day. So that's why I go with variable, not a lock-in ND. Especially in this setting, you got to move as you're going into the locker room, out of the locker room, keeping it at 1.4, and then the ISO's moving. And you always want to find a little smooth spot. So essentially, I think we hit all the points. ND filter is the way to go. 4K, gimbal, that'll take you to the next level. We'll understand the story, the structure, the editing, and all that basic stuff. And then when you step up to better equipment and you have better toys, you'll be way better, as opposed to just giving you all the best equipment, not knowing what to do with it. So there you have it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I can't wait to show you guys what we got next. Goodbye.